afternoon. I've got 10 minutes to get through this, so I make no apologies for the fact that this is a relatively informal type of presentation. 10 minutes is probably a little too short to get through the message of revolutionizing the whole CBI, citizenship by investment industry. So what I'm going to focus on is giving you a few impressions of Vanuatu, representative of a typical CBI program. A lot of these impressions are my own, so excuse the slightly informal presentation and the slides, because it's a collage, really, of impressions. I want to bring Vanuatu to life, to you. So, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it is, and a bit of information about the program, and some impressions from when I was there last week. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of the people in the room have never heard of Vanuatu, or let alone could say where it is. There it is, a big black arrow and a small dot. It's embedded in the South Pacific, between Fiji, New Caledonia, and the Solomon Islands. Oh yes, firstly, something important. We have a global virus crisis at the moment, and we have our own virus crisis in Vanuatu. We have a very challenging situation. Do you know that when you go on Google Maps, there are only 3 Indian restaurants in the whole of the capital of Port Vila? And I'm here trying to invite you and encourage you to come to Vanuatu. Something's got to be done about this. There's 2 representatives, and the one on the right is called the Sydney Curry House. I went in there last week. It's run by a gentleman from Lahore. We're not even in the right ballpark. And look, with your huge population and all your islands and geographical spread, you've got 9,000 restaurants in the UK. Whereas in poor old Vanuatu, with 280,000 population, we've got 83 islands there, 1,200 kilometers north to south, and we have a measly 3. So, all you potential future investors in Vanuatu, here's the first thing you can come and fix. And look, we've got all the ingredients that you're ever going to want. Magnificent organic vegetables, fruit, fertile soil. It's all there waiting for you. Can you start my little video, please? This is Vanuatu, primal, elemental, exciting, full of charm, unspoiled, and undiscovered. So a few quick facts, and I'm sorry I have to whistle through these because I'm conscious of my clock ticking. It used to be a UK-France jointly administered colony, gained independence in 1980. And it was previously called the New Hebrides. Some people know it as the New Hebrides. The administrative capital is Port Vila. As you've seen, I talked about the number of islands. It's a Y-shaped archipelago 83 islands, 65 of which are populated. Spans 12 to 1,300 kilometers north to south. The population is 280,000 and rising. The official languages are English, French, and the local language Bislama. It is a very happy place, and I can guarantee you one thing. If any of you ever find your way down there, you are assured of the warmest welcome from the most charming people I have ever met. I don't think this will interest you because I know Indians love tax, but Vanuatu is somewhat the opposite. The income tax or corporate tax, actually it's just no tax, apart from locally applied VAT. So it's a very attractive tax-free environment. I'm going to move on quickly now to some of the features of the program which I'm here to represent today. It is the only program of its type in the Asia-Pacific, and as a Commonwealth country, it does grant visa-free access or visa on arrival to about 127 countries, as you can see there, including the UK. A strong feature about the program is that it is simple and quick to apply for. There's no language requirement, no requirement to visit or reside in the country. You become a full citizen of the country. It's hereditary. You have to attend an oath-swearing ceremony at which you receive the passport, but that can be in a variety of convenient locations. Great banking options as a Vanuatu passport holder in places like Vanuatu, but also locations more convenient to you in Dubai. And cryptocurrency payments are possible. And last but not least, it is actually a place you could see yourself living in. Briefly, it's about 135,000 donation US dollars for a single applicant, and about 185,000 including your due diligence for a family of 4. And that's what you get. And this passport gives you access to 83 islands, which normally you reach by going through Australia or New Zealand, with daily flights from Sydney or Brisbane. We have a new fleet of brand new Airbus A220s coming, and the runway has just been extended in Vanuatu, so for sure in the future connectivity with Asia will be improved. I wanted to finish up with a few images of Port Vila. I was there this time last week, and I took these snaps to give you something from me personally as an impression. We have casinos, we have blue ocean, we have nice hotels, we have banks, we have international banks on the high street, we have education, the University of the South Pacific has a campus there, there's an international school, and it's got a pretty good lifestyle. So that more or less brings my presentation to a conclusion, but I do encourage you to explore further. Come and see us next door. We have a stand there. Come and learn more about Vanuatu and answer the call of Vanuatu. I'll leave it there for now, but thank you very much for your attention. I'll take any questions. Hello. Hello. Sorry, when I said 10-year passport, I should say that each passport is valid for 10 years. It's just rather than a 5-year validity passport, it's 10 years. Citizenship is lifetime and it's hereditary. Yes. There is you can become a permanent resident of Vanuatu. That's a different process. And that is not handled under the program that I represent. So there are residency options there, but it's a separate process. So the program is a donation program only at the moment. Okay. Yeah. $130,000 US dollars, yes, for a single. US dollars for a single. But with costs, there are always costs. This is inclusive. This is a flat rate. So the Caribbean normally have additional costs on top, government fees, etc., etc. So actually, price-wise, Vanuatu is pretty competitive. So what people are doing actually is if you have to renounce a passport, India's not alone in not allowing dual nationality, dual citizenship. If you do have to renounce, what we suggest to people is you take Vanuatu citizenship, then you get residency somewhere, such as Dubai or Greece, where you can get permanent residency or long-term residency. You have the benefits of a residency, and then you use your Vanuatu passport for travel and for the tax-free benefits of the country. Then you're not going into conflict with your existing country's regulations. Are you allowed to stay in New Zealand? At the moment, the visa-free, visa on arrival access it's a Commonwealth country. For the likes of New Zealand and Australia, you can apply for a 3-year multiple entry visa to begin with. Once you've done the 3 years, you can do 10-year multiple entry. It's not quite the same as residency, but it gives you a lot of access rights. But the UK, for example, is 180 days in every year, visa-free. Okay. One more, yeah. How good are the medical facilities in Vanuatu? It is an emerging island nation, and it needs more investment in its medical facilities. It does have hospitals. It has I think it has good health care. It has a lot of aid from Australia and New Zealand. And for serious cases, people will go to those. It's 2 hours 20 flight from Brisbane, so people will go to Australia for treatment. We would like to see more investment in hospitals in the future. And this is one of my missions, actually, in raising revenue for the country, is in the hope that in the future this will be directed towards improved healthcare, etc. And I think this will happen.